An antique dealer scrolling through eBay made an extraordinary discovery that would catch the attention of Buckingham Palace. Adam Simpson York, an amateur historian known for reuniting families with lost war medals, spotted something remarkable among the vintage photographs for sale. A Victorian cabinet card from 1886 featuring Susan Mary Keppel, Queen Camilla's great-great-great-aunt. What happened next reveals a side of the monarchy rarely seen by the public and opens a window into the complex, fascinating world of royal treasures that spans centuries, continents, and some of the most valuable jewelry collections on Earth. This isn't a story about scandal or theft. It's the remarkable true story of how royal jewelry actually works and how one woman's journey from commoner to queen consort gave her access to treasures worth over $120 million. The eBay discovery that warmed royal hearts. Adam Simpson York runs a Facebook page called Medals Going Home, where he reunites families with their ancestors' military honors. But his eagle eye for historical artifacts extends beyond medals. In early 2024, while browsing eBay's endless auction listings, he spotted something extraordinary: genuine Victorian photographs of Queen Camilla's ancestors up for sale. The first discovery was a cabinet card photo of Susan Mary Keppel, taken in June 1886 on either Regent Street or Cheapside in London. Susan was the sister of George Keppel, Queen Camilla's great-grandfather. But Simpson York wasn't finished. He also found an original antique print of William Charles Keppel, the Earl of Albemarle, Queen Camilla's great-great-great-great-grandfather. Rather than simply purchasing these historical treasures for his own collection, Simpson York made a decision that would lead to an unexpected correspondence with the Queen. He bought the photographs and sent them directly to Buckingham Palace, along with a thoughtful letter explaining their significance. The response was extraordinary. Queen Camilla took the time to personally write back, saying she found the photographs fascinating and that a bookmark he'd included would definitely be put to good use. But this wasn't their first exchange. The year before, Simpson York had sent Camilla a photograph of her great-great-grandmother, Edrica Faulkner, prompting the Queen to write, "I must say, she looks a bit sad in it." This heartwarming story reveals something crucial about how royal treasures actually work. While some assume the monarchy jealously guards every historical artifact, the reality is that family photographs, personal items, and even some jewelry pieces regularly surface in unexpected places. The royal family's gracious response to Simpson York's discoveries shows their genuine appreciation for historical preservation and hints at the complex web of ownership that governs royal treasures. Decoding royal ownership. Who really owns what? To understand Queen Camilla's jewelry journey, we first need to decode one of the most misunderstood aspects of royal life: who actually owns what? The common assumption that royal jewelry belongs to the royals is both true and completely wrong, depending on which pieces we're discussing. The royal treasures are divided into several distinct categories, each with its own rules of ownership and inheritance. First, there are the crown jewels, the ultimate symbols of monarchy, including the imperial state crown, the sovereign's orb, and the scepter. These belong to the crown estate and are held in trust for the nation. No individual royal, not even the monarch, personally owns them. Then there's the royal collection, containing approximately 400 pieces of jewelry, including tiaras, necklaces, brooches, and earrings. Like the crown jewels, these are held in trust by the monarch for the nation, but can be worn by royal family members for official occasions. This is where much of the confusion about Diana's jewelry versus Camilla's jewelry originates. The third category consists of personal royal jewelry, pieces that individual family members actually own. These include wedding gifts, inheritance from non-royal relatives, and purchases made with personal funds. When Princess Diana died, her personal jewelry collection was divided between her sons, William and Harry, who later shared pieces with their wives. But here's where it gets fascinating. Many pieces Princess Diana wore regularly weren't actually hers. The Spencer tiara, famous from her wedding, belonged to her family. Many of the spectacular pieces she wore to state events were borrowed from the royal collection. When she died, these returned to the vaults, available for future royal use. This explains why Queen Camilla can legitimately wear jewelry that Princess Diana once wore. Much of it was never Diana's personal property in the first place. The emerald and diamond necklace that caused controversy when Camilla wore it as a brooch. It belonged to the Queen Mother originally, was part of the royal collection, and was simply on loan to Diana during her marriage. The Greville legacy, Camilla's pathway to royal splendor. Queen Camilla's most spectacular jewelry pieces come from one of the most fascinating collections in royal history. The bequest of Dame Margaret Greville, a society hostess who died in 1942 and left her entire jewelry collection to the Queen Mother. This collection, now valued in the tens of millions, became the foundation of Camilla's most impressive royal appearances. The crown jewel of this inheritance is the Greville tiara, officially the largest diadem in the royal collection. When Camilla first wore it to a state visit to Uganda in 2007, royal experts had predicted she would choose understated pieces. Instead, she debuted one of the most ornate and intricate tiaras in existence. The message was clear: she was embracing her role with confidence and splendor. Dame Margaret Greville's collection also included the extraordinary diamond and emerald necklace that Camilla has worn to multiple state occasions. Made by the prestigious Paris jeweler Boucheron, the necklace demonstrates the international nature of royal jewelry collections. Did you know that many of the most spectacular royal pieces were actually created by French jewelers rather than British ones? But the Greville collection tells a deeper story about how royal jewelry accumulates over generations. Dame Margaret was a shrewd collector who acquired pieces from various sources, including jewelry that had belonged to other aristocratic families. When she bequeathed everything to the Queen Mother, she was essentially consolidating centuries of British aristocratic jewelry into the royal collection. The Queen Mother wore these pieces extensively, understanding their psychological impact. Royal jewelry isn't just decoration, it's communication. Every tiara choice, every brooch selection sends a message about tradition, continuity, and the monarchy's connection to British history. When Camilla inherited access to these pieces, she inherited not just their monetary value, but their symbolic power. The technical aspects of this inheritance are fascinating. Unlike personal property, the royal collection pieces can't be sold, divided, or permanently given away. They're held in perpetual trust, meaning future generations of royals will have access to the same treasures. This system ensures that spectacular jewelry remains available for state occasions, regardless of individual royal family members' personal wealth or preferences. Personal treasures. Camilla's own jewelry story. Beyond the grand tiaras and state occasion pieces, Queen Camilla has assembled a remarkable personal jewelry collection that tells her own story. These pieces, which she actually owns rather than borrows, reveal her sophisticated taste and deep appreciation for both contemporary and antique design. Her engagement ring alone tells a fascinating story. When Prince Charles proposed in 2005, he gave her a square-cut diamond ring believed to have belonged to his grandmother when she gave birth to his mother. This wasn't a new commission or a random selection. It was a deliberate choice that connected Camilla to the royal family's maternal lineage, suggesting acceptance and continuity. Camilla's personal collection includes several spectacular sets received as gifts during royal visits to the Middle East. One is an enormous diamond and ruby bib necklace that she memorably wore to a gala concert in Philadelphia in 2007. The piece was so striking that it overshadowed even the formal tiaras she might have chosen. Another is a necklace set with pear-shaped rubies, worn for a film premiere in London in 2015, complete with matching earrings. But perhaps most intriguing are the pieces with family connections. Camilla owns ruby and diamond earrings that once belonged to Alice Keppel, her great-great-grandmother, who was famously King Edward VII's mistress. These earrings create a direct historical link between Camilla's current position and her family's previous royal connections. A reminder that her relationship with the royal family actually spans generations. The technical craftsmanship of Camilla's personal pieces reflects her sophisticated understanding of jewelry design. She gravitates toward pieces that can be worn multiple ways, necklaces that convert to bracelets, brooches that can be worn as pendants. This versatility suggests someone who truly appreciates jewelry as both art and practical adornment. Her collection also includes contemporary pieces that show her support for modern British design. She's been photographed wearing jewelry by current British designers, balancing historical pieces with contemporary creation. This approach mirrors the broader royal family's strategy of honoring tradition while supporting contemporary British talent. The modern royal jewelry revolution. Queen Camilla's approach to royal jewelry represents a fascinating evolution in how the monarchy handles its treasures. Unlike previous generations, who followed strict protocols about which pieces were appropriate for which occasions, Camilla has introduced a more flexible, personally expressive approach that maintains dignity while showing individual taste. Consider her recent appearance at Royal Ascot 2025, where she wore the Rothschild diamond watch brooch, a priceless natural diamond royal heirloom that hadn't been seen in public for nearly a century. The 132-year-old piece was last worn publicly in 1936, but Camilla brought it back into circulation, demonstrating how she's actively curating the royal collection rather than simply following established patterns. This curatorial approach extends to how she's reintroduced historical pieces. She's worn Queen Elizabeth II's favorite tiaras for significant occasions, paying homage to the late monarch while making them her own. When she wore the Girls of Great Britain and Ireland tiara, Elizabeth II's most frequently worn piece, she was making a statement about continuity and respect. The international dimension of Camilla's jewelry choices reflects the modern monarchy's global perspective. She's comfortable wearing pieces with French, Russian, and Middle Eastern origins, understanding that the British royal collection is inherently international. When she chooses a Cartier piece created in Paris or a brooch with Russian imperial connections, she's acknowledging the cosmopolitan nature of royal jewelry collecting. Her approach to jewelry maintenance and adaptation also represents modern thinking. Unlike previous generations who might have left pieces unworn rather than alter them, Camilla has commissioned modifications to make historical pieces more wearable. The conversion of Princess Diana's emerald necklace into a brooch, while controversial, reflects a practical approach to keeping historical pieces in active use rather than museum storage. The security and insurance implications of Camilla's expanded jewelry wearing are staggering. The total value of pieces she's worn publicly likely exceeds $50 million, requiring sophisticated security coordination for every appearance. Each piece must be transported, secured, and protected during events, a logistical operation involving multiple agencies and security protocols. Looking forward, Camilla's jewelry choices are establishing precedents for future royal generations. Her willingness to wear previously unworn pieces, her international selections, and her practical modifications all signal a more accessible, less rigid approach to royal jewelry. When Princess Catherine eventually becomes queen consort, she'll inherit not just the physical pieces, but the more flexible protocols Camilla has established. The Adam Simpson York eBay story that began our journey reminds us that royal history isn't locked away in vaults. It's living, breathing, and sometimes appearing in unexpected places. Just as those Victorian photographs found their way to the Queen through an amateur historian's careful attention, the royal jewelry collection continues to evolve through the careful stewardship of those who understand that treasures are meant to be appreciated, not hidden. Queen Camilla's jewelry journey, from commoner to custodian of some of the world's most valuable treasures, represents more than personal advancement. It demonstrates how the monarchy adapts while preserving its heritage, how individual taste can refresh ancient institutions, and how grace and gratitude can transform even chance discoveries into meaningful connections. In wearing these treasures, she's not just adorning herself, she's continuing centuries of tradition while writing her own chapter in the ongoing story of royal splendor. This analysis is based on verified reporting from the court jeweler, official royal sources, Getty Images documentation, and confirmed correspondence between Queen Camilla and Adam Simpson York, as reported by GB News and other credible outlets.